Okay, this is from King James Version of Bible. So this sentence has come from Bible. For whatsoever a man soweth is the one who will sow, so he will reap, means he will get it back. That shall he also reap. Which we have got a similar concept in Hinduism also. As you sow, so shall you reap. This is exactly the words of Bible. So as I was telling you right at the start, all the isms are talking at the end of the day same thing. So they are talking that whatever you sow means you sow the seeds is the word. Means whatever you put it in the ground, the seed will come out. If you put tomato seed in the ground, tomato will come out. There was one video again on WhatsApp that from different fruits is opening and then the coins are coming out of it. I don't think it is likely to happen. So nobody will work anything in that case. Everybody will sow those seeds. So as you sow, as you read, there is no such kind of tree available. Then there is a concept of sanchit, means stored. Sanchit, the real meaning of word of Sanskrit sanchit is which you have stored. So there is an incidence of a rich man which will help you understand the meaning of sanchit. So this rich man decides one day that whenever I will be dying, I will be taking all my wealth along with me. So there is a question which is, how is it possible? आपके बड़ा मान लो इतना सारा business इतना industry, how are you going to take it up? He says, whosoever will give me the solution for this, that whenever I will go to heaven, I will be carrying all my property with me. Whosoever will give me the solution, I will give 50% of the property to that person. Everyone tries to give me a solution. It was not practically possible. Somebody gave him a solution. जो भी आपका industry वगैरह वो सब जमीन के नीचे डाल दो, आप भी उसमें सो जाओ. Those kind of solutions, so that you will take everything with you. So there was one person who got that 50% of his wealth. He had given a solution to that person, and the solution was in the form of something called a sanchit. He said, now you have got made so much amount of property. You have got lakhs of crores of millions of dollars of property. You must have visited different countries. He said, yes, I have visited maybe more than 100 countries so far. So when you go there, how do you pay? He said, how do you pay? Means obviously there is a currency of that country. I pay with that currency. So if I go to Malaysia, I will be paying with currency in Malaysia. If I go to US, I pay in dollars. If I go to UK, I pay in sterling pounds. So whichever country has got whichever currency, I will pay there with that currency. So the man answered him, you are very much correct. The currency of Swarga, means heaven, is sanchit, what good work you have done. So that is the currency. So if you want to go to the Swarga, go to the heaven, you have to carry the currency of good work which you have done on the earth. So to keep on counting how much good work you have done, then you can take your entire property there. Understood that? Which talks about sanchit means good work, which is indirectly making every person to behave good in the society, so that he is doing some kind of good works, which we call it as suppose if you are doing something wrong, we call it as you are doing a sin. In Hindi or in Sanskrit we call it as a paap कर रहा है, तो अच्छा नहीं कर रहा है, जरा कुछ पुण्य कमा ले. So punya is sanchit. So you get the blessings of the people, which will be like some kind of sanchit for you. Sanchit meaning is you have stored something. So you store goodness with you, then only you will go to heaven. Otherwise you will be boiled down to hell if you are keeping on doing negative things or sins in your life. So that is a concept we have to develop, and that is probably one of the reasons why we try to be a good in the society. There was one movie by Amir Khan recently, PK. What he was telling, पूरे दुनिया में, at least in India में, डर का business चल रहा है, डर का. If you don't do this thing, then God will be angry on you. In reality, God can never be. God is supposed to be the kindest entity in the earth. So He will never be angry on you. In short, what He's trying to tell you that all these people who are trying to make their businesses with the help of fear, आप उसको इतने रुपए का प्रसाद चढ़ाओ तो आपको वो अच्छा blessing देगा. It actually doesn't happen. That's one of the best movies I have ever seen. But then we always say कि बहुत अच्छा movie बनाया. But then at the end of the day we don't follow. There are many such movies. There was another movie by Akshay Kumar. Oh my God. They were telling the same thing. You can file a case against God, but then you have to prove it, which was not proved. Why? Because it is indirectly, it is human beings who are supposed to be behaving good to all others, and all the good things will happen to them. This may be a philosophy. If you want to believe, you can. If you don't want to believe, then you are not carrying any kind of sensitivity. So maybe because of that fear or that kind of a doubt which are in your mind, people try to behave good in the society, so that they carry more sanchit with them. Law of karma ensures accountability. The individual is responsible for whatever happens to him or her. If one is responsible for positive action, fruit will be positive. That's what I will be discussing. Similarly, if one is responsible for negative action, the result will also be negative. So the outcome of what you do is depending on what you are doing and how you are doing. Again, with reference to that statement. You must be knowing the standard process and more ethical process. Therefore, this second half of the subject talks about business ethics. So there we will be seeing how the businesses can also be ethical. So all these philosophies being used, how those are practically being carried out in management, that is being explained here. Vivekananda says all the strength and support we want is within ourselves. Again, we are talking about individual power which we have with ourselves. There is a verse in Sanskrit, Uddare Atman Atmanam, Atmanam Avasade, Atmaiva Atmano Bandhur Atmaiva Ripuna Atmanam. The second part is more important. What it says that you yourself is your own friend or you yourself is your own enemy. You can take the examples of all those people who have committed suicides. It's only their thinking power which has made them to take that action. And it's been proven by psychology, it is that only 1 microsecond of thought of committing suicide, maybe jumping from this building or maybe taking some kind of pills. It is that 1 second, it was only 1 second to fall from the building. So that microsecond has to be stopped, which is very difficult. So all the suicide cases, they cannot stop that microsecond because it is their mind which is telling you, okay, jump from here. And if they can control that second, otherwise they would be making their mind of their own foe. Foe means enemy. So your mind is your own enemy, and at the same time your mind is your own friend. That is very clearly mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So how you think, how you make yourself develop your mind, that matters a lot. So you have to be always balanced. That's what Gita says. Relevance, there are all these laws, but I will skip this because this here. Law of cause and effect, whatever you do, there has to be some cause and effect will be definitely seen. Law of creation, you have to have more inspired, motivated people so that they will come out with a lot of innovation. Now again in the industries there is a separate department. There is a position called as Chief Chief Innovation Officer, which was not a mandatory position anywhere in most of the industry. But now that position has started because every industry is looking at innovation. Because unless and until you have something different with reference to competition, with your competitor, your product is not going to be sold. Another simple example which I will give, that those who drive 4-wheeler, they know that there is one switch, you pull that rod towards you, headlight will be blinking once. Those who are driving 4-wheeler, so you might be knowing otherwise. That facility was not there in 2-wheelers. Till the time Bajaj Auto launched Splendor. Not Splendor. I forgot the name of that model. So that sold Bajaj Auto bike. No. That was scooter. Bike I forgot the name of that model, but then that is the first model in 2-wheeler which has been given that button. The button is named as pass button, where the headlight will blink once. Pulsar was the highest sold bike in the era of Bajaj. And do you know the reason? When asked to the customers, that pass button was the reason for blinking the headlight once. You can otherwise do it by a normal button, switch on, switch off, कर सकते थे. But then it was again proven by some kind of studies, अगर वो switch on करते हो आप switch off, तो bulb जल्दी उठता है. You cannot reuse that bulb. But with the pass button, that care has been taken. So that was a very small innovation which added crores of rupees of profit to Bajaj industry. One small example. So therefore, every manufacturing industry do have got a separate department called as R&D, research and development. Their only job throughout the year is to come out with innovation in their existing product. or maybe come out with some another new product altogether. Think about this Nokia. How many of you are using Nokia handsets today? Anyone in the class using Nokia? No. How many of us Samsung? Okay. Other Vivo, iPhones. Okay. Anything other than this? What's that? Oppo. Now, Oppo, Vivo, OnePlus, all are in the same family. All are Chinese handsets. Samsung is Korean. iPhone is USA, of course. So what I'm trying to tell you, now there was time some years before Samsung had around 85% of market share. With these all other Chinese brands came in, there's a reduced, but I think still they have got some 63 to 65% of market share. So Nokia was one company, at one point of time they had around 95% of market share. Whosoever is having the handset, 9 out of 10 people were using Nokia. Now it is out of the market. Why? The reason is Android. Android people first approach Nokia. That we have come out with a new technology. Nokia said, no, we are already 95% market share, topper in the market. We don't know what is Android technology. So they decided not to take up Android technology. They approached Samsung. Samsung accepted it and used the result. 85% was the market share. Nokia literally stopped. But then at one point of time, as you have rightly said, somewhere during 2000 to 2010, Nokia was on the top because of the strategy, strategy of creation, strategy of innovation. What they used to do, some N20, then 6633, these were the model names of similar model names of Nokia. So if you purchase a particular handset of Nokia, after 6 months, they will stop manufacturing it and they will launch something new. They will totally stop the manufacturing of the, let's say 66633, and they will come out with new model after 6 months. The reason is somewhere in a concept which you will be learning in marketing called as product life cycle. Product life cycle says that you launch a product in the market, it will keep on selling, it will go on its product being selling, and it will reach to the level. From there it will start declining. The sales will start declining. What Nokia followed, product life cycle strategy, that they will reach the product to the peak, and then instead of declining the sales, they will stop and keep that product there in the peak and leave and come out with another model. So if you go to the service center of the handset which you purchased 1 year before, they will say नहीं इसका कुछ part bit नहीं मिलता है. तो अभी क्या करना है? आपको दूसरा handset लेना है. So people used to purchase Nokia handset again, repeat customers, only because of this particular strategy, and the strategy was possible because of law of creativity, law of innovation. So any type of industry you take today, even if it is a financial marketing industry, they are thinking about creativity in the market, creativity in the product. अभी product में creativity क्या होता है? Life insurance. Thousands of different varieties are, thousands of different schemes are there in life insurance. आपको एक्सीडेंट हो गए, आपका ये उंगली कट गया तो इतना मिलेगा, दूसरा वाला कट गया तो इतना मिलेगा, थंब कट गया तो इतना मिलेगा. These are all strategies at the end of the day. Who has come out with these strategies? The people who are creative. Importance. आपके हैंडसेट को कुछ हो गया तो हैंडसेट का भी इंश्योरेंस आ रहा है आजकल. लता मंगेशकर was known to have a throat insurance. It is possible. Probably some of the athletes will have got their legs insurance. It is happening because the people are coming out with the creative options of even financial markets. You can get a insurance on your housing loan. So खुदा ना खास्ता ऐसा हो जाए आप मर जाएं तो you don't have your next means nominee won't have to pay the installment for your housing loan. Your housing loan is all taken care of if you die. So insurance industry is the most difficult industry because they will be selling the product which is helpful to the person when he dies. Isn't it? Provident fund, all these concepts are there wherein you will be getting benefited, I mean your nominee will be getting benefited if something happens to you. So the most difficult product to market or sell is all insurances. But still they have got very innovative ideas. So in my opinion, I think insurance is the probably highest innovative industry. Product industry में क्या आज थोड़ा सा innovation किया है, उसका दूसरा मॉडल निकाला, it will take another 6 months, 1 year to develop another product. Then the insurance industry, they are coming up with different kind of schemes. Private insurance, you go there and then you will find some 100, 200, 500 plans are available. Depending upon your requirement, depending upon what you want to insurance, what is the term duration, how long, what not, what are the number of nominees, how many number of dependents are there. So all creativity, and with that law of creativity, law of creation, that is very well applicable to the industries. That you have to be having some people who are very creative, who are very innovative, because your business is going to depend on R&D efforts, research and development. Many examples could be given, but for want of time I will skip those. Law of humility. Law of humility is you being very humble, which is very difficult. The higher you go in the promotion hierarchy, you are likely to develop that ego, which will not make you have this quality in you, which is called humility. Being humble, being down to earth. हम बोलते हैं सिर्फ मैं बहुत down to earth हूँ, but then do you understand the meaning of it? So you need to understand the meaning of down to earth is being very humble, means talking to even a peon, as I mentioned earlier, peon or the lowermost cadre person also, treating him as a human being and not as some designation holder, which is very difficult, and you will experience it when you will go to those levels. Try to do and try to become very much humble. Law of growth. If you want to see your career or business grow, you must continually change your views to evolve. Again, it is talking about the same creation. You have to keep on updating. Otherwise, your generation, your business will be lagging behind to a great extent. When the technology is coming in now, all the businesses, every company will have got their website, their apps. Then you can do most of the things online. The industry which we never thought of can possibly become online. That is proven during the corona time. Why? Because they have thought of continually changing their views. Law of responsibility. As an individual, you must take the responsibility of what happens to you, your career, your business, etc. You should not blame anyone. Whatever happens to you is your own responsibility. Law of connection. We have talked about it. HR. I don't abbreviate HR as human resource management. I call it as human relationship management. So HR people more try to connect the people with each other in the industry. So law of connection gets applicable here. Law of focus is concentration. Positive outcomes and success will be there when you focus. Law of giving. You should always think about giving others. Speak the truth about who you are and what you do each day, and which is missing is what you can give to others. Law of here and now. So means don't think about past. Maybe think about future, but be in the present. That's what this law says. It's very difficult to be in present. We always, most of the time, think about what has bad things happened in our past. We always worry about what is going to happen in the future. So in the process, we forget that we are living in the present. So you are always supposed to be in the present. Then only you can concentrate on what you are doing. So law of here and now. Law of, that is what we typically call as real time. Real time means what is happening at this moment. Law of change, I have already given you the example. So you have to keep on changing as per the things that are changing around you. Law of patience and reward. You have to have patience to get rewarded, and companies definitely have a different kind of schemes. Law of significance and inspiration. If you put out positive energy and help others, you will receive these gifts again and again. So keep on helping. I don't think that you will accept at this particular level, but as and when you proceed with your profession, this will be applicable and you will experience this. That you keep on helping the people, the money will keep on coming. I have been at least experiencing for the last 15 years. If somebody asks money from me, I of course check the validity and the person's ability to give it back, as well as the person's intention mainly, whether he give it back or not. So I help many people with the money, and I have been seeing that money keeps on coming in. So I don't know whether you will agree. Nobody will agree with me at this particular stage, but in later stage definitely will agree that you keep on helping the people, the things will be coming back to you. What Vedas and Upanishads says, there are only two things which mentioned in Vedas and Upanishads. Paropagara punyaya papaya parapidanam. Means you will gain all those sanchit if you keep on helping. Upakar means you do some kind of उपकार को क्या बोलते हैं इंग्लिश में? उपकार को इंग्लिश में क्या बोलेंगे? Not give, favors. So you do favors, do good things to others, and then that you will earn punya or you will earn sanchit, whereas you will earn sins by troubling the people. That is the central or core message of Vedas. So it is pious to help others and sinful to oppress or trouble others. Vedas, they are giving 4 financial lessons, which is important for all industries talking about money. So you need to earn wealth by deeds of glory. So business, success, fame, these all will come from Veda. Even Kautilya's Arthashastra Vedas will be telling you the same. So you earn the wealth by doing some positive ways, not by defeating the people or not by deceiving the people. So you earn by the most possible way. Veda is talking about by brilliance, maybe by success, by fame, will automatically follow the wealth. A man shall strive to win the wealth by a righteous path. Here we are talking about the industry, here we are talking about an individual. So you should make the money by most possible pious way, righteous way, right way. One who gets up early morning gets injured. Right? That doesn't mean that the money will fall in your room when you get up early. It simply says that the early you get up, then your day will be more available for you to do that. If you are getting up at 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, the entire day gets off. So what you will do in 6 hours? So if you are getting up early, then you will get 3 more hours to do. When you get up early, you will have a time for your looking at your personal health. As far as maybe you might be doing some early morning exercises, you can join gym if possible. Simplest and the easiest way to do exercise is keep walking every day. If every one of you walk only for 5 kilometers, which takes only 1 hour in the morning, so get up 1 hour early, you will never, I can guarantee you will never have any kind of disease. No diabetes, no blood pressure, no sugar. I am the example in front of you. I have a record of not a single medical leave in my life so far, because I walk 5 kilometers a day. That's it. I do yoga also, but then that is addition. Even if you just walk simply 5 hours a day, nothing will happen. Try it from tomorrow. But tomorrow 9 o'clock lecture is there. So walk before that. Don't tell me tomorrow, sir, आपने बोला एक घंटा चलने के लिए, तो मैं उठा ही 12 बजे. उसके बाद चलने लगा. So not like that. So indirectly, this is giving you a message of taking care about your health. So the more earlier you get up, you can give time to this. Otherwise, your college is at 8:30, as I know, and if you get up at 7:30, then you don't have time to look after yourself. So you have to take care about your health. That is the meaning of getting up early in the morning. Treasure means health is a treasure. One shall produce fair wealth for today and tomorrow. It is possible again by this possible way. So you can make money for today and you can save the money for tomorrow. That is what we are talking about, financial lessons from Vedas. Ramayana, we all know the story. Most of us know the story of Ramayana. Ram was a king, then Sita married to him. Lakshmana was his brother. Bharat, Shatrugna were other 2 brothers. We know all that. Then Ravana came. Then he took Sita away. And when they were in jungle during the 14 years of being in the jungle. Then that Ramayana war happened, or that fight happened for last 6 months in the 14 years of time. And then Sita was back, Ravana was killed. That's it. And in the meantime, Hanumana helped him. From that all story may be appearing to be an imaginary story. Still people don't believe that Ramayana happened. But then astrologically, the proofs are available where they have come up with the time when Rama was born, when Lakshmana was born, when they were married. All the dates are available. Astrology. If you believe, if you are a non-believer of Ramayana, it doesn't matter. But we are supposed to at the end of the day understand what Ramayana is talking about and teaching us. It is not the position but the spirit of the service that matters. Rama was a king, but then he was in the jungle along with Sita and Lakshmana for 14 long years. He was not a king there, but then there are many stories what has happened during these 14 years, how he helped different kind of people who come across, how he killed the different demons who had an intention to kill both of them. So he was always good and he was always giving good service or the required service to the people around, even being in the jungle, not being as a king. So you don't require any kind of position to help others. You don't require to be a general manager to help somebody. Whatever, you may be drawing 10,000 rupees salary, you can just pay 50, 100 rupees to give somebody. That is the meaning of this particular statement. You don't need to hold kind of a position to serve the people. Value and support system as far as Ramayana is concerned, is the husband and wife was itself a best support system even today, whatever happens, husband and wife are always supposed to be a support system to each other. So that was a support system learning from, and if we try to connect it with the management, then the support system is every department. They have to work in tandem with each other. They have to support each other, as I have given you the example of that. So unless and until all the departments work together, nothing will be succeeding. Unity in diversity is possible and necessary. I am not connecting any example with this. Okay, maybe somewhere later I'll come up with it. Plants seeds of faith, so you have to have the faith in each other. That is again proven by the marital relationships between the two. Truth always prevails, so you have to always speak the truth. Rama was known for being very truthful. Family is important, always the importance is given to the family. That is why Rama and Sita went to jungle, because his father has ordered him. Why his father ordered him? Because he had got wife Kaikeyi who told that you had given me two kind of good things, vachans, which you will have to fulfill. So now my wish is that you send them to jungle, and then my son will be the king of this entire kingdom. But then he has given importance to family as his father. So his father was just like his God, so he listened to him. Be careful of temptations. Example, that is the reason why Sita got caught by Ravana. There was that golden deer which was moving, and she wanted to have that golden deer. So that is the temptation. So you should be not getting attracted by these temptations which will keep on coming in your career. Follow instructions, don't change your plans arbitrarily. Again, with the same incidents happening, Arjuna, when he heard Rama being died, Rama yelled Lakshmana, Lakshmana. It is actually that deer who was calling Rama. Then Lakshmana, while going, he asked Sita not to cross this line, but then she didn't follow the instruction, and the entire Ramayana happened. So this is talking about don't change the plans. With reference to management, there is a planning done for next 6 months, 3 months. So you have to keep on following those planning unless you are authorized and unless you are making those changes in consensus with others. You alone cannot make the changes. Rama Setu showed even the small animal matters. Who was that animal? There was a small squirrel who helped in construction of that Setu to a certain extent. That has become phrase in Marathi, Kharisa Vada. So it is when your contribution might be very small. I have given you in the morning example of somebody who cleans a toilet. His contribution may be very small in building a brand of Deccan Indian society per se. But then that contribution matters, because keeping the toilets clean will be resulting into lot of otherwise diseases likely to be developed by unclean toilets. If you go to the companies, there is inside the toilet door, if you see from the back side, there is a chart hanged on, and it is very clearly written 9 o'clock, then 11 o'clock, then 1 o'clock. So the person who is cleaning the toilet has to sign it, so that they are maintaining the cleanliness of that. That just reminds me one incident. Again, I don't know whether this is a real incident or not. There was always a complaint from the workers' side that our toilets are always unclean, and they used to have such an arrangement. There was a public toilet for the workers, and there was an executive toilet just next to that. And they always had complaint, maybe some feedback they might have got about executive toilet, that they said our toilets are always maintained very bad and executive toilets are very clean. How this can happen? So the team who was cleaning those toilets, those were called, and those were asked, ऐसा क्यों करते हो आप? दोनों टॉयलेट का आपको हम पैसे दे रहे हैं क्लीन करने का, आप वो अनक्लीन क्यों रखते हो? Still, next time again the same thing continued. There were a lot of such complaints coming up. So finally, the top management came up with a solution, and the solution was not known to the toilet people, the toilet cleaning people. What they did, they asked one peon. They have given one responsibility, one peon, to change the boards after every 15 days. Executive toilet will become workers' toilet, worker toilet will become executive toilet. After 15 days, those boards were changed. So, with the mentality of keeping the executive toilets clean, 15 days, this toilet was very well maintained, and another 15 days, other toilet. I don't know whether this is a real story or not, but then this could be a good policy to maintain the proper hygiene, which has come from the example which I was giving you. So cleaning the toilet may be a very meager or a very minor kind of work, but that contribution, that person matters specifically in the COVID time, If the toilets are not maintained properly, there are cases where people have died, right? Not maintaining the cleanliness. So every small contribution matters. He may be a watchman, he may be a peon, he may be a simple loading and unloading person who is totally illiterate. That matters. I'll give you one more example which you will all agree. You might have seen different buildings being constructed. Now this building, let's say, this is painted from outside. Have you seen any of the times how these buildings are painted from outside?
Yeah.
When the building is constructed, how is it painted? So usually there is a person who is hanged from the top or the terrace on a rope. That rope is having a V shape and there is a plank, a very simple normal plank on which he sits. He puts the paint tin next to him and then he keeps on brushing and then he will be released from the top, down and down. That's how he paints. At the end of the other rope, now the things have changed. Now there are cranes which will be lifting to that person. There is a proper cage. But then still most of the construction industry don't afford to have those cranes. So they will hang that person from the top and the other end of that rope is given in the hand of one person. So don't you think that person, the person who's painting, has got a lot of belief on the person on the other side? Isn't it? To avoid, there were many accidents happened. Then that person lost his concentration, then he left and some person fall from the top and then he died. So to avoid that, what was done later, now also it is done, that the other end of the rope is on the top of that rope, one cement bag is kept, which is very much heavy, it's 35 to 50 kg, and then the person is asked only to sit on that. He will not be holding the rope because his weight and plus the cement bag weight will take care of it. But then only cement bag weight was not sufficient because the person hanging is let's say 90 kg and the cement bag is 30 kg. It cannot balance, simple physics. So this person's additional weight of 110 and 30, that will balance the situation. So whenever required, this person will hold the rope, will leave him again, he will sit on the that cement bag. I am talking about that person who is sitting on the other side and his contribution. Don't you think that it is probably the highest contribution he has got? If he gets up from the place, that person, the other person will die. And construction industry, unfortunately, is supposed to be the most unorganized industry in India. Around 4% people in India are involved in construction industry. Still, it is unorganized. So, if that person in nowadays situation, every beggar even has got mobiles nowadays, isn't it? I have seen this physically. There is one theatre in Pune called as E Square. I was just crossing that road below the bridge from E Square. There was one beggar sleeping below the bridge and he was searching on hands. So literally every beggar has got the mobiles nowadays. So that person who's sitting on the other side, on the top of the bag, is also having the mobile. And what happens if you are there in a group, or otherwise also, if you get a mobile call, what do? You go away and then you speak. Just imagine this person has got a call, he is sitting on that cement bag and gets up a call, he will get up and then he will leave. What will happen to the other side? So that person's contribution is very much important. That person or that work has been given to such a kind of a person who is literally very down. And it has been only told to him for 8 hours, he will be only sitting here. आपको यहाँ से उठना नहीं है सिर्फ वो मोबाइल आपका बाजू में रखो. Mobile has become a very great diversion. I don't know why people go away to talk on mobile. पहले ज़माने में लैंडलाइन लेते थे, so we used to speak on landline. उसको वायर रहता था, लेके नहीं जा सकते थे कहीं. So we used to speak with when everybody is present around. But mobile has become very much personal nowadays. So when you get a call, you don't want the other people to know who is calling you and what you are talking about, right? So you go away. So if that is the situation, if that person sitting on a cement bag, his contribution will be countable in that case because he will be making one person to die. So every small contribution matters is the outcome of Ramayana. Respect your enemy. It has been mentioned that when Ravan was dying, Rama asked Lakshmana to learn from Ravana because he was a very known devotee of Shiva. So he asked Lakshmana to learn something from him. So you should always respect your enemy. Now in the businesses, who are your enemies? Your competitors. So you should respect your competitors means you should not have any such kind of strategies which will defame the competitor. So therefore you might have seen some soap advertisement, some detergent powder advertisement. You will see that they will show the product of some another company with the label of that company removed with the advertisement. Actually they wanted to show that this is the other company's product and this is the other product. But then they don't want to defame the enemy, they want to respect the enemy. Those are the rules, regulations, bylaws to be followed by advertisement, that you don't have any right to defame somebody else. When you see some kind of serials or maybe some of the movies, you will see that you will see a car coming in your direction, and wherever the car logo is, that is made blur. Why? Because why you should advertise for them unnecessarily when they have not sponsored your feature film, or they have not sponsored your TV serial. So they will make that logo blur so that you are not putting blame on any product, any particular vehicle, or not that company. So that is directly related to respecting your enemies, respecting your competitors in today's world. Here at the bottom you will not be able to see it here, but when I will circulate this thing to you, you will be able to see from where I have taken this material. Those are the websites or maybe some books I have got it. So I will be circulating you the notes of all the chapters. So you don't have to, anyways nobody is writing. But then I will circulate a PDF of all this. Maybe tomorrow I will do both the units. Ramayana continued. One of the biggest advice given by Ramayana is mother and motherland are greater than human beings. Janani janma bhavishya swargadapi gadiyasti. Means it is as big as heaven. So you have to serve your mother and serve your motherland. And Rama did that thing only for the purpose of his kingdom. Only for Ayodhya he did it, and he went to obey his father. And of course he was always praying and giving importance to his mother. That is the biggest advice. If we talk about today's industrial world, mother is the one who is giving you the bread and butter to eat. That means the company with which you are working, and motherland is of course our country. So you should not forget our country and the bread giving company. You should be goal oriented. You should be asserting the goal or job to be done, getting mentally prepared for it, having the right plan. If you see the war strategy which Rama had, that will tell you about the right plan. Where we are talking about in management is all those basic principles which you learned. Training analysis and time management was again a big learning from the war. The training was given to all the monkeys. Otherwise, monkeys are not the fighters; those are animals. So all the training of fight techniques were taught to them. And then, of course, when it was decided when the tree is to be built, how much time will it take from India to reach to Sri Lanka? And I heard that that we still exist. I don't know, I've never gone to that side. But if it is there, they have done the calculation of time management, how much time will it be required. And as I said, somewhere around 4 to 6 months that war ended and war took place. So a lot of training, analysis, and a lot of management, time management was done in that war. Analyzing the strength and the weaknesses, it is said that you must know the weaknesses of your competitor and strength of your own. So he was knowing what are the weaknesses, rather he was not knowing what are the weaknesses of Ravana. If you have seen that Ramayana, he is going on cutting his head from here. It was not going to work. It was not working. So Vibhishana came and told Rama that his entire life is here in his stomach. Then he hit the stomach and then Ravana died. So he was not knowing the weakness of competitor, the weakness of his other side or enemy, so he couldn't win over. So if you want to be successful in business, you must know the weaknesses. You should not use any unethical practice to know the weaknesses. Then you have to know what the competitor firm, competitor management, competitor company is weak at, and then what are your strengths. So you should work positively on your strengths, try to study the weaknesses of your own as well, which may be in comparison with the competitor, and try to improve on that. Of the competitor and what traits and opportunities. There is a concept in management called SWOT, SWOT analysis, that you will have to do when you start with your businesses, when you grow your businesses. S for strength, W for weaknesses. Those two words are talking about yourself, your own strength, your own weaknesses, weaknesses of your competitors, opportunities and threats. So weaknesses of competitors are opportunities for you, and threats are whatever competitor are good at, those are going to be the threats for you. So first two words are about yourself, strength and weakness of your own company, opportunity and threats from the surrounding, from the outside area. So you should convert weakness into strengths and you should convert threats into opportunities. Then your business will succeed. Of course, this is a theoretical concept, but which is very effectively used in starting with any kind of business, or maybe somewhere at the mid stages where you are not prospering or you will prosper still more. Looking for better opportunity is talking about diversification. All the companies we started their businesses right at the start only with one product or maybe one service as such. They have grown now. Take the example of Tata. They started with their first company named as Telco. What is the full form of Telco? Anyone knows? What they started as a first business? No, not it. What was the first business of Telco? Huh? Not still really. That was the second. What is Telco? Full form of Telco? What do you say? Tata? Tata? No. That is Reliance. Reliance started with textile business first. Then they diversified. Tata started with Telco first. What is Telco? Tata Engineering Locomotive Company. TELCO. CO stands for company. Tata Engineering Locomotive. They were manufacturing the train dabbas or train compartments. So that was their first business along with Tata Steel. Then they become Tata as one brand. But then that is the first and the only business they started with. Now you think about Tata's, all you take the name of the sector and they are there. They are into insurance, they are into IT, they are into FMCG, they are into manufacturing, they are into this two-wheelers, four-wheelers, everything. Not two-wheelers, four-wheelers they are there. So most of the types of industry they do have. That is what is called as better opportunity. So that they try to develop and diversify their businesses rather than sticking to one business. Same is the case of Reliance. Reliance started with textile. Now they also have got insurances. They also have got different malls. They have got salt also. So starting from salt to engineering, locomotive, they are manufacturing of everything. Then united goal work and unity of command. So everybody, if you refer to Ramayana, everybody was listening to the orders given by the king. Dasharatha was king at the end of the day, though he was his father, so he listened to his orders. Unity of command means you should listen only from one. So if you know some of your friends or family friends who are into military, you ask them. They follow this unity of command. If your major, your top authority is telling you jump from here, you have no right to ask him why. You have to follow the instruction given by the senior. And that is what they call as unity of command. And that should come only for your boss. If the boss's subordinate or boss's colleague is telling you to do that, you can say no. Because it should come from him. If he is saying then you have to tell him that let it come from my superior. Then only I obey. And that is very strictly followed in all the military, navy and air force. So the command which are given by one person, unity means one. Command coming only from one person to be followed. So therefore they have got hierarchies, very stringent hierarchies are colonel, then lieutenant colonel, then lieutenant, then senior lieutenant, then brigadier. A lot of hierarchies are there. So they will all listen to only the immediate supervisor who is giving them the command. So unity of command, all the people in the kingdom used to listen to Dasharath. Then Ram became God, Ram became the king, though he was a god. And then everybody started listening. Even when Ram was in jungle for 14 years, people used to listen to him. Unity of command. So that is being followed. Still continues. Differences between good manager and a bad manager. Rama was a good manager. Rama was a bad manager. He did not listen to his subordinates, including his brothers and his sister also has given negative advice to him. But he followed. He was a total mismanagement. He failed to maintain the good relations even with his own brother Vibhishan. He shifted from Ravana side to Rama's side, and then he is the one, just now as I mentioned, he told the secret of Ravana's death. And that's how it was to be negative ones. Whereas Rama was a good manager, he listened to his subordinates, his brothers, everybody, he treated everyone equally. He has got good relations with everyone, and he was having very clear about the goals. And because he could maintain the relationship with all these troops, specifically the monkey troops, everyone came for the help. Okay, this is called as comfort zone for 14 years. Vanamasa was there and end up connecting with less people. that is expected to be run by CEOs or marketing managers. They should go to such market which is unidentified and untapped. It means that as Rama even has got a lot of peace of mind even during those 14 years without getting any kind of kingly facilities. If he would have been as a king in the kingdom, he would have got all the facilities. The people would have been around to do all the work. But in jungle also, he was doing all the things on his own. You can just imagine this has happened somewhere some thousands years of back when no facilities were available. Probably there were no roads, there were no vehicles, no instrument, no AI, no mobiles, no internet, nothing was there. So just imagine what or how he must have been staying in that 14 years of, that is typically called as Vanvasa, in the jungle. So he was still satisfied, he was very much happy staying there for 13 and a half years, 6 months, the war happened. What we should learn or what management people should learn, typically the CEOs or the top level management people should learn to make themselves, to keep themselves aloof, going away from the routine work, and then they have to have some special dedicated time to think something creative, something which is unidentified and untapped. There is a case about this shoe manufacturing company. Again, the name of the company doesn't matter because anyways I don't remember. So there is one shoe manufacturing company, that CEO calls up a salesperson and he says that there is an island which you can see. Go on that island and sell our product. So that salesperson goes on that island and he comes back and he tells to his CEO, sir, in that island nobody is wearing footwear, nobody is wearing chappals and shoes. So our product नहीं चलेगा वहाँ पे, कोई पहनता नहीं उधर, right? Clear this situation. Then another company who becomes successful, that salesperson goes on to the same island, he comes back dancing, sir, the entire island is our market. Nobody is using chappal and shoes, means the entire island is our market. So they do not know the concept, what will happen if you are using proper shoes and chappals. So we can sell our product to each and everyone on that market. How that has happened? Because of the excluded thinking to send somebody to such a place where nobody is using your product. And I think the same thing has happened with the mobile industry. We never were having mobile, but nowadays everybody is using mobile. So that luxury which was few years before has become a necessity today. So to convert that luxury into necessity is the thought in the mind of a CEO. And that is the reason why CEOs are paid so high. Because they are supposed to come out with something which will not only improvise on their business, but then which will come out with some kind of a highly creative thing which will be making the people habituated to it. Getting my point? Internet pehle, even when handsets were there, the internet was not there. I belong to that era when we have got that 9 keypad wala handset. Internet was not there at that time. So it was not very much necessary. कभी घर पे भूल गए, doesn't matter. There was a landline, you can put a lift a landline and call somebody on landline or mobile. Because the internet facility was not there. The handsets were not designed to have that facility. Now it has become not a luxury but a necessary. Now if you are traveling from Mumbai to Pune, the other day, two daughters of my son, they were traveling from Ahmednagar to Mumbai. So we asked them to switch on their Google map and keep the live location on. So we were sitting at Ahmednagar, we were coming to know where they have reached. This is for the purpose of safety. So it has become necessary today. Why? Because somebody has thought, some CEO must have gone to that aloof place and must have thought of that we will devise some instrument wherein it will be useful for the entire mankind. And now it has become a necessity, not a luxury. Nowadays having mobiles is not a luxury. Having iPhone may be a luxury. Having Samsung Note 10 might be a luxury. Because ultimately, other than few apps which you never use in the life, most of the apps which common people are using are available in 10,000 rupees a handset and 80,000 rupees of Samsung Note 10. Most of the major features I am talking about. Of course, they do have different features, otherwise nobody would have purchased 70,000 80,000 rupees handset. So, but again, that might be a thought which must have come to Google. Let's, to the CEO, let's take the example of Google. Who is the CEO of Google? At present, Sundar Pichai, where is from? Since he had joined as a CEO, Google has come out with many versions. Your Google Maps is his invention. Maybe the basic thought must have, he might not have designed it, he might have given to the designer team. But then the basic thought has come from him. Google Pay has come from him. There are many Google apps which are designed are under the leadership of CEO Google Pichai. What is the salary of Google Pichai, Sundar Pichai? Search it on Google. Take a look. What is the salary which he is paid? हाँ तो exactly लेते हैं ना, some millions of dollars. So why he is paid so high? Why cannot they hire a US company? Why can't they have a CEO from USA? Why do they want to come to India? If you see Microsoft company, more than 70% engineers are from India. कितना? नहीं इतना कम नहीं होगा. 15 करोड़ तो कोई कंपनी का भी $5 million. $5 million per annum per year per month. Allowance that is per month must be. वो भी मुझे कम लग रहा है. Just verify. नहीं, that is not the money earned by working somewhere. That is not the money by using some brain assets. ठीक है, assuming that 50 crore rupees of salary, whatever. So the rule which I have told you earlier, that the company will expect 10 times of return from you. 150 crore का 10 times होता है 1,500 crores. Business. 1890 crore. 1880 crores. So most of the apps which have come up from Google in last 10 years are under the leadership of Sundar Pichai. The other two CEOs of big companies are also from India. They call it as Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Satya Nadella, Shiv, and third one is Sundar. So all the top company CEOs are from India. As I said, most of the Microsoft engineers are from India. The entire, maybe more than half of the Detroit is from Indian engineers who manufacture the cars and automobile vehicles. Why? Because Indians are supposed to be the most brainy people on the earth, proven. Right? And amongst Indians, girls are proven to be more intelligent than boys. Sorry, but then that's a fact. So coming back, how much time do we have? 10 minutes? 5 minutes? 30 minutes, eh? मुझे ही बोल रहा है. So you must be waiting. So alliances. All the companies are talking about and having a lot of alliances means joint ventures. In typical management terms, we call it JV, joint ventures. So if you like Maruti is a joint venture with Suzuki. So all the joint ventures, there are many companies who are into the joint ventures where it takes care about the positive parts or the positive qualities in every company, and then that will help each other. So mergers, alliances, mutual respect and trust, better market share. So the example, this blue one is the outcome, and what is this purple or something? That is talking about the basic thing which is coming from Ramayana. Sugriva, he is coupled with Sugriva, and he is who has got an army. So eventually he will lead Sita getting back and tracing. Sugriva was there, Hanumana was there. So those are all the alliances of Ramayana. So Rama, so that he will have a proper respect, trust, and gain. Market share में यहाँ से relation, यहाँ पे relation नहीं है, but he got the proper resources to reach and get the goal. So the more you want to progress in business management, you have to have more mergers and alliances. When Sita got banished or expelled from the kingdom, Rama's word was that of a true blue CEO, of loyalty of the company's overall welfare. So this is an incident probably you may not remember. When Sita came back from Ravana's home, the entire people in the kingdom, they started that you need to verify whether she is pure or not. That from perspective of purity, from the point of view of women. So he had made Sita to jump into the fire, and then if she comes out alive, she is pure. Why he did it? Because every CEO has to take care about what people are talking about the company's policy. So here Ram was to be or to become a king. So as a king, if he is following the ideals, then only he can ask the other people to follow the ideals. So if you want your followers to follow what you are saying, it is first you have to follow, then only your followers will do. If you are not following, your followers can always ask you कि आप तो खुद करते नहीं हो, आप तो खुद टाइम पे आते नहीं हो, हमको कैसे बोल रहे टाइम पे आने की? So it is that kind of thing. So you have to follow the standards set and loyalty to the companies that can be set as an example to the followers. And that's what Rama did. He has managed to entertain the respect of women and team members. He has got tremendous respect. Rama was known to be a person called as Ekapatni Vrati. Ekapatni Vrata means he was married to only one woman and one wife, so he was very much honest to her. And that is a lesson which Ramayana has taught to all of us. It's the biggest lesson. Mahabharata. Revengeful instinct can only lead to one's doom. We know how Mahabharata has come out with. So in Mahabharata there was a game played between for winning the kingdom, and of course Kaurava win that game. So to get that kingdom back, Pandava has to fight them. So basically the game itself was leading to the revengeful instinct which happened in the form of a war between the two, and one party has totally slashed down. The Kaurava entire family was killed, and that was definitely not a positive thing happened. Stand by what is right, even fight for it. Arjuna was always, Sri Krishna was always supposed to be said to be on the side of the right side. So Pandava's side was very much right, and what you can say, there is a particular word which I am not able proper word for right. That's why Satya or Asatya. So their side was very much Satya is very true, and Sri Krishna was always on the truth side of the truth. The eternal bond of friendship, Sri Krishna was known to be the friend to Pandavas, and of course Karna and Duryodhana is another example. But for what you use your friendship, that also matters. Half knowledge can be dangerous. What is the example? No. Arjuna's son, Abhimanyu. So Abhimanyu was knowing how to enter into the Chakravyuha, but was not having the knowledge of coming back. So half knowledge is always dangerous. Be careful. Don't be swayed by the greed. The entire greed was about the kingdom, and that's why Arjuna never wanted to fight. If I kill my own people and get all this kingdom, I don't want it. So he never wanted to have the greed of it. We cannot give up on life despite of hurdles, so we have to keep on fighting. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. Being a woman does not make you lesser individual. One of the biggest lessons, Draupadi was the strongest woman in the entire Mahabharata. She was the one, it is proven by some kind of studies done on Mahabharata, that she was the one because of which the entire Mahabharata happened. The incidents of Draupadi Vastraharan, when we remember, if that wouldn't have happened, probably Mahabharata or that war would have been avoided. So women don't consider women as, even we still today in our society we call women as weaker sex, but it's not so. If you look at the professions which are around, there is not a single profession where women are not there. Girls are not there. All Bombay metros are driven by girls. In Delhi, there are trucks driven by women. Rickshaws is very common, even in Pune, girls are driving. There is not a single field, as far as I know, where girls are not there. There was a time when I was doing my engineering, there was only civil engineering when there were girls. Now, if you go to COAP, you will find more girls in mechanical engineering. And you will find, go to the companies and girls are working on a machine. So, there is not a single field where girls cannot work in shoulder to shoulder with the boys. So never consider girls as a weaker sex. They are probably more stronger than you in their thoughts, in their actions, and in their final outcome. So being a woman doesn't make you lesser individual. I'll make a reference of this in Bhagavad Gita that is very clearly mentioned that if I want, Sri Krishna is saying that if I want to take rebirth, I will take the rebirth as a human being, but out of human being, I would be becoming a woman. Because woman has got all those qualities which men don't have. With due respect to men, I being a male also, but still women have got all those qualities which men don't have. Specifically, the tolerance and forgiveness. men don't have. Forgiveness to बिल्कुल नहीं है. Your mother, your wife will always forgive you. Husbands and sons will never do it. देख लूँगा तुमको, when we say देख लूँगा, forgiveness is gone. Okay, who to choose? This is again a story from Mahabharata. When the war was about to start, Sri Krishna has told that you come to me. He told to Duryodhana and Arjuna, come to me and you ask for whatever help you want. So it was Duryodhana's time first. So Duryodhana was asked, okay, you tell me what do you want. So Duryodhana told that I want to have troop of army from you. So he asked for the quantity of the people fighting for him, because he thought that if we got more number of people fighting for us, army, then we'll definitely win the war. And it is actually, with some figures, it has been said that Kaurava side there were 11 Akshavini. Akshavini was the unit of measurement of the people fighting war at that time. And it was, if I mistake not, 21870. Now the 21,870. It is measured as one unit. And then 1:2, 1:3, 1:5 means one elephant, then one elephant, then one chariot. ये जो रथ के अंदर रहते हैं बड़े highest officers, highest fighters. One elephant, one chariot, then 3 horses and 5 foot warriors. ये जो जमीन पे ये कर सकते हैं, fight कर सकते हैं. And the 3 are then on the horses. That is the proportion. 1:2, 1:3, 1:5. So if there are 21,800 chariots, 21,800 elephants, 3 times of it horses and 5 times of it foot warriors. That will make one Akshavini. Calculate करो कितना है. 21,870 plus 21,870 plus 21,870 into 3 plus 21,870 into 5. Put this total, that will give you one Akshavini into 11. That was the number of people fighting on Kaurava side. And only into 7 were fighting from Arjuna side. So Kaurava side has got 1.5 times more fighters with them, because Duryodhana has demanded from Krishna. So what you should ask, what you should choose in the life, that you must be knowing. What is that thing which will be beneficial for me, that I should opt for, which is equally applicable to your specialization selection. You know, what specialization would you select? कोई भी बोलता है अपनी finance ले लो अच्छा है, but then whether you are fit for taking that finance specialization, that you need to judge. किसी ने बोल दिया इसलिए नहीं लेना है. So Duryodhana opted for that quantity, whereas Arjuna said, I want only you to be on my side. So he is given importance to quality. Therefore, that's why he could win the game or win the situation. Whereas he asked for the quantity. Most of the times, quantities don't win. We always say that quality wins, not the quantity. Detachments. That is all Bhagavad Gita is talking about. You should not then. Arjuna told him. Arjuna was told by Shri Krishna, don't worry that you are not fighting for the kingdom, but then fight. Don't think about the fruits of the world. So get detached from that kingdom, get detached from the thoughts. You are not doing this thing, anything at all. It's me, I am killing all these people, you are just an instrument to do that. Very clear-cut instructions are given by Shri Krishna. That you will be only the instrument in killing this, but then I have already killed these people. So you be detached. Don't think about this, that those people are your own siblings, maybe your seniors, maybe your friends, or maybe your maternal uncles, paternal uncles, your gurus, all those people whom you are supposed to kill. Don't worry about it. Get detached from that. And that detachment is required even when you are in the industries. I have talked to you earlier before, when you are working in the industry, workplaces for 9 hours. When you come home, you are carrying that 9 hours burden of work at home, and you will have got big fights with your family members, maybe with your wife, maybe husband, maybe with your parents, maybe your sons and daughters. Why? Because you are not able to detach from the workplace, which is very difficult. And maybe with a lot of overburden on you, it may happen that you are carrying that work home. You might be seeing some people carrying their entire work home. Their company has given them laptop, so they will feel very proud. The company will laptop diya. But the purpose is that they will expect you to work at home also. You can ask those people who are still working from home, they are working for 12 hours. I know, I just met one of my friends who is working with Tech Mahindra while coming here yesterday evening. So when I met her, she said that I am working for 12 hours when I am working online. with a company called a statement. When you go there, you got to log in time and log in out time because the bus is waiting for you. So you don't work there. So you don't carry the work on your home, and then the things will not be carried forward, and you get detached. Same thing happens the reverse way also. When you go to the office from workplace, from your home, if you have got some problem with your home, you have that problem in the brain, and it continues, and you will fight with somebody in the workplace. Again, reverse you will carry. So detachment is simply trying to tell you that you try to be making yourself separated from what has happened there and what has happened here. There is a technique and there is a part of stress management which tells you that you should be able to do switch on and switch off technique. Appears to be very simple. You have a fight at the workplace, you are going home. When you come home, you leave that at workplace. When you come home, you be your normal life, family life. When you go back at the workplace, then your work life will be started. So you have to have a very proper work-life balance. For that, the simple solution they have given is switch on and switch off. Means when you come home, you switch off just like as we switch off the light. We switch off what has happened in the workplaces. You come home in the evening, you switch on the thing which has happened in the home, start fighting with your wife which has started in the morning. Go back to the workplaces, switch that on, switch that off. Which appears to be very simple, but implementation is very difficult. And if you are able to do that, you will be able to follow the detachment principle which has been told in Mahabharata. We will finish Mahabharata today. Bhishma said to Yudhishthira, rulers should be like good householders. Good householders is who? There is a concept in commerce, HUF. What is that? Hindu undivided family. Who is the chief of that HUF? Karta is the owner of that family. So Bhishma has already given the advice to Yudhishthira, means the eldest brother of Pandava, and Bhishma has told that rulers, means the king, should be like good householders, should be like the Karta of HUF who takes care of the family. So you should be taking care about all your people who are staying in the kingdom as you are the family member or the owner of the family. The householders are like trees planted in the compounds. Rulers are like huge trees. So there will be huge trees like on the crossroads. So they will give you all the kind of things. They will give you proper leaves, proper flowers, and good sweet food to eat. And last but not the least, oxygen at the daytime and the shadow when there is sunny side outside. So you have to be like a huge tree on the crossroads. A common householder should extend hospitality to his guests, whereas the ruler should provide protection and support to the poor, homeless, destitute, old and widows. So the king's responsibility is to take care about everybody and anybody in the kingdom. So you should be behaving like a Karta of an Hindu undivided family, considering your kingdom as your family. So you are the Karta and you should be taking care about all the people in the family. The advice continues, neither mother, nor father, nor mother, nor wife, nor son, nor the priest is above the law. So law is, I have mentioned earlier, dharma is adopting good things and nothing is over dharma. So nothing is above the law, which we have to, even we are seeing today's day. Law and order, what we say. So whatever you do, if you are not following the rules, violating the rules, nothing is above the law. So you have to be punished, you have to be taken to the court or whatever actions have to be taken against you. Even the king is also not considered to be above the law. So even if I remember one incident of Indira Gandhi, and because of that incident that IPS officer has become famous. Who's that? Kiran Bedi has become famous. Why? She towed Prime Minister's vehicle because it was parked in a no parking. Because even the king is not above the law. So if the king follows the rules, then all the people will follow. Otherwise, people can always say when you are not following, how can we? At least in the society where we are staying today in India or such kind of countries, the king has to follow even the rule. So the king is also not above the law. Leader, manager, king is governed by equality and impartiality. So you have to be following the rules or following the rules of equality and impartiality. You shouldn't be partial to somebody. The person whom you like, you promote him, it never happens. Okay, now here it is coming to your individual again. Because it has got some connection with one incident which I read somewhere. There was a there was a man or a poet, it is mentioned in the incident that there was a poet who was praying to the God that God please give me the power to change the world. God said it's impossible, but still if you want you can try. So he started trying to change the world. He comes to the age of 40, he could see that he couldn't change anything in the world. So he started praying, God please give me the power to change at least my friends and my relatives. जो मेरे आजू बाजू में उनको change करने की power दे दो. But still it is difficult, but still you can try. So he reaches to the age of 60, 65, 70, fag end of the life. And then he concludes and goes to the God and starts praying, God please give me the power to change myself. That's what this is talking about. So talking about changing the universe, changing your kingdom, then changing the people around, it is possible only when you decide to change yourself. Then only when people will see that yes, you have also been successful in changing yourself, then I have got an idol in front of me. If he has proven that he is changing, I should also be able to do that. So here this entire message is talking about Kurukshetra is within you. That means that fight, battle between the two sides is going on within you. Whether I should do a business, just now as I mentioned in the morning session, whether I should start doing my own business or whether I should work for somebody else. Now I put that thought into your mind. PGDM is not for managing somebody else's business. You should start with your business on your own. So that battle will keep on going on, and then only one party will win. नहीं वो सर कुछ भी बोलते थे. It's better to do a job. अपना हर महीने में सैलरी मिलेगा ठीक से, वर्क मिलेगा, जाना आना फ्री है, सब खाना फ्री है. So why to put ourselves in trouble? So that Kurukshetra is always when two parties are fighting. It means whenever you are taking any decision, there are always two sides of the decision. So which side you should go, that is a fight which is going on within us. And every now and then, every day-to-day life, you will have this fight going on inside or within you. The simple example is, after a long lecture of 6 hours, the fight will be there in your mind, tomorrow aana hai ya nahi aana hai. So you have to take one decision that you will come tomorrow. Bad joke, but then bad example, then that's a real meaning. So always a fight is there in the mind. Ignorance is the example of Dhritarashtra was known to be an example of ignorance. He was not aware about anything, whatever is happening. Anyways, he was blind. His wife was also blind, putting a patti on her eyes. So ignorance was an example of Dhritarashtra. Individual soul always given an example of Arjuna. Indweller of your heart is Lord Shiva. So Shri Krishna is the one who is the controller of your heart, who will give you proper advice. That means whichever advice is helpful for you, your decision, and which will be at the same time equally helpful for the people around you, that step you should take and that advice you should follow, and then you shall win that battle. And your body is a chariot which is used for fighting, and all those horses which are to be there, those are said to be your senses. Senses are the 5 horses, those are driving that chariot. Which are the 5 senses we have? All individuals have got seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touch. All of us are born with basic 5 senses. Medical science has come out with 31 senses, not 5. 31 senses through which we receive and then we react accordingly. So when we see, when we hear, when we have a mosquito on the hand, so we kill him immediately. So we can get the feel of mosquito touching on a screen, biting us, signals are sent to the brain, immediately brain will send the signal to second and kill him. This happens in microseconds. And that's how we get sense. So our body is just like a chariot which is controlled by these senses. So if further we will come to that point later, but then I can make a mention of it here. So if you are able to control your senses, how that is possible? Again, we will come to that slide later. I don't want to mention it here. So controlling of the senses, controlling of the negative things, negative vices, negative qualities which you have got, that will make you a great human, but which is very difficult at first. So controlling of these 5 horses, the chariot will be driven by Lord Shri Krishna, who is the chariot, chauffeur of the chariot. What we call it as a driver of 4-wheeler. So all controls are there in the hands of the driver. Gear, speed, accelerator, brake, everything is there. So just like that, the entire control of the chariot is in the hands of Lord Shri Krishna, who is your inner heart, And what you are controlling? The 5 senses in the form of those verses. Those are these 5 verses: mind, egoism, mental impression, senses, craving, like, dislike, lust, jealousy, the big list. So all these are your vices which are supposed to be your enemies and you are supposed to be controlling them. That's a big lesson. I think we should stop here. We still have time to 4.
5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay. How do you maintain your attendance for today? Huh? Okay, or let's make it simple. Somebody can tear a piece of paper, write your name, sign it. Okay. So tomorrow we shall start sharp at 9. Today there were a lot of arrangements to be done, maybe 5 minutes to make that arrangements to begin.